In the year 711 AD, a Muslim commander stood on the edge of an unknown shore, staring at a land his people had never entered before. His name was Tariq bin Ziyad. Behind him lay the open sea. Ahead stood the mighty Visigoth kingdom of Spain, ruled by King Roderick, whose army was larger, richer, and far more powerful. Tariq had crossed the narrow strait from North Africa with just 7,000 men. They were not kings or famous warriors. Many were Berbers, former slaves, and ordinary believers, carrying little more than faith and resolve. And then Tariq made a decision that would echo through history. The moment his army reached land, Tariq gave an order no one expected. The ships were burned. Flames rose into the sky as his soldiers watched in silence. There was no way back, no retreat, no escape, only victory or death. Seeing fear in their eyes, Tariq climbed onto a rock and spoke words that would live forever. "O people, where will you flee? The sea is behind you, and the enemy is before you. By Allah, nothing remains for you but sincerity and patience." They had not crossed the sea for wealth or fame. They had crossed it for a cause greater than their own lives. Soon after, King Roderick marched forward with an army said to exceed 100,000 soldiers, heavily armored, well-trained, and confident in centuries of dominance. Tariq's men stood exhausted, outnumbered, and on unfamiliar land. But what they lacked in numbers, they carried in belief, unity, and discipline. When the battle began, the ground shook. Dust filled the air. Steel clashed against steel. The fate of an entire land hung in the balance. Then against all expectations, Roderick's army collapsed. Betrayal within his ranks, weak leadership, and underestimating Tariq's forces led to a devastating defeat. King Roderick vanished from history, never to rule again. That single victory changed everything. The gates of Al-Andalus opened. City after city came under Muslim rule, not through cruelty, but through treaties, justice, and restraint. Many locals welcomed this new order, finding fair taxation, religious tolerance, and stability where oppression once ruled. Within only a few years, much of Spain was transformed. The land where Tariq first set foot became known as Jebel Tariq, the mountain of Tariq. Today, the world knows it as Gibraltar. Despite reshaping history, Tariq bin Ziyad did not live as a conqueror. He was later removed from command, pushed aside, and lived the rest of his life in poverty. The man who opened a continent for Islam walked the streets of Damascus unnoticed. No throne, no riches, no celebration. Only a legacy that altered the course of civilization. This story is not just about conquest. It is about unshakable faith, leadership under impossible pressure, and courage when defeat seemed certain. Tariq did not burn the ships out of recklessness. He burned them because he understood one powerful truth. When retreat is removed, courage has no choice but to rise. And sometimes history changes, not because of numbers, weapons, or power, but because one man refuses to turn back.